Good evening, everybody in the Americas, Central, North, and South America. How's everyone doing? Hopefully, everyone is, we're sort of at the middle. We're at that hump right now. Hopefully, everyone is doing very well this week. And good morning to everyone in Asia. 皆さん、おはようございます。移民法弁護士のアンソニー・レイです。今日もよろしくお願いします。And very early morning to all those in Africa and in Europe. I'm glad you guys can join us. Feel free, this is your time. Go ahead and ask your questions. Let us know what's on your mind. Remember, we're here for concerns, questions, and to celebrate. I have something to celebrate today that I'll talk about a little later in our program and our time together. But make sure you go ahead and let us know the good news. We want to be positive. Not everything is negative like the news has, but feel free to share. Put those messages in the chat. Well, one of the things I wanted to, before we get started and as people are coming on, one of the things I wanted to highlight, it was always one of these news articles that we usually have. There was an article in Bloomberg about employers encouraging their employees to go ahead and become U.S. citizens. Did you guys read anything about that? Let me add that to right here. There we go. You guys can see that. Some of the employers in this article, Bloomberg, you guys can read about it. It mentions Amazon as one of the employers who are really encouraging their employees to not just stay at the green card level, but to move on to becoming U.S. citizens and joining the ranks here of us here in the U.S. Now, if you're not familiar with the process, or if you're new to the channel or new to immigration, the way the process works is this. Basically, foreign nationals come to the United States. The majority of them come in a non-immigrant category, a non-immigrant or temporary category, such as a work permit or student visa or even a fiancé visa. They usually come here temporarily, and then they transition into permanency. And we call that lawful permanent residence here in the United States. Each country has something very similar. Each country has their own set of rules, not too much different from what we experience here in the United States. Now, once you have been a green card holder for a period of time, then what happens is you can apply for citizenship. You can become a U.S. citizen. It's very streamlined as long as you do the right thing and, don't do anything bad. You're going to be on time to become a U.S. citizen. And once you become a U.S. citizen, this is truly, truly your home. The government's not going to send you out or kick you out. You're here permanently. So this is a really good article, I thought. What do you guys think? From the immigration standpoint, we always encourage people, if they choose to do that, to become citizens of the U.S. There are certain circumstances, however, where you might not want to become a U.S. citizen. What are those situations that people are thinking or are facing? For example, there are many countries out there that do not recognize dual citizenship. What does dual citizenship mean? It means you have citizenship of two or more countries. We had one client, one of our clients, they have, they're looking to get 3 citizenships, where, let's say Spain, Brazil, and then US ultimately, might be one of those scenarios. So as you look at citizenship, not everyone wants to get it. Maybe they want to return to their country after 20, 30, or 40, or even 50 years here. They may want to just go back. I know a lot of people that I've talked to, they just miss home. They were born there. They spent 10, 15, 20 years in their home country before coming to the United States. They came to the U.S., made this their home, and now they're ready to go back. There's a lot of nostalgia and things that, you can't really duplicate here in the US. And if any of you guys out there have traveled to foreign countries, you'll know that, it's a different world out there than here in the United States. And neither is good or bad. It's just different. And a lot of people who miss that, they really hunger for their home country, the language, the culture. And even if they do things a little bit different than we do here in the US, they're okay with that. So today, there's a few things I wanted to talk about. Again, this is your time, not just mine. So feel free to jump in, ask questions in the chat. This is for you. Go ahead, let us know what's on your mind. Again, questions, comments, celebrations. We're going to talk about that. That's the third thing I want to talk about, the celebration we had today. Now, the first thing I wanted to chat about, we talked about this before, is this H-2B. If you remember, I'll put this up on the screen. Let me switch some things around here. So the H-2B is one of those categories where people come temporarily. Normally it's less than a year, but they're modifying that slowly. But normally a person comes here temporarily. Think of your golf courses, construction, resorts, healthcare, home aid care, schools, all kinds of topics. I'm sorry, not topics, but all kinds of occupations can utilize and do in fact utilize H-2B. Obviously, and we're going to talk about that a little bit here. If you recall, there were 35,000 additional visas, 23,500 were for everybody out there. And then for our four countries, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Haiti, there were at least 11,500 set aside. Well, as you can imagine, this is what happened. Well, they released those numbers on May 19th. Now, within 5 days, they received more than the 23,500 visas, applications necessary to fill that cap. Within 5 days. Talk about the strong demand out there. We need people here to work. So if you're looking to come to the United States to work, find a way. I mean, there are jobs everywhere. Everywhere you want to look, there's, employers looking for really good employees. Not just, hey, I need to fill a warm chair. Us employers and many others, we're looking for really good quality people who are going to work hard, stick, and, grow with the company. So more than 23,500 visas were in within 5 days. So what did they do? They pulled a lottery. So if you were selected in that lottery, which finished up on, I believe it was May 27th, then you're great. You were selected. You can proceed and get your H-2B. Now, remember, the H-2Bs were even limited. These were not even new ones. These were for people returning or had H-1B visa stamps before, or had H-2B visa stamps before, or were in H-2B status previously. This is an even new cap to 35,000. Remember, the original 60,000, those are gone. It's really sad. We are desperate. I shouldn't say we, but employers are desperate. For law firms, we usually are looking for professionals. So we're looking at the H-1B instead of the H-2B. So this just points out and shows the strong demand that employers need people to work. And there's so much going on. Even with all the talk of recession and chip shortages and inflation, employers are seeking more people to work. So that's one of the key things. So I thought it was really shocking. What do you guys think? Are you shocked that there were over let's just call it 24,000, more than 24,000 applications within 5 days? Can you imagine that? Just do the math. It's crazy numbers. And that only out of those numbers, only 23,500 are going to be selected. Those who are not, if they're from El Salvador, Guatemala, or Honduras, or Haiti, they can go ahead and get visas because those were set aside, the 11,500. They're still available right now. So if you're from one of those countries or you're national, go get your H-2B, come on over here and work and help us out here in the US because we need workers. And I'm sure the rest of the world needs workers as well, especially with things opening up right now. I know, for example, one of our countries of interest is Japan. And as they open up, they need people, workers to fill the demand. I think cruise ships were also ones that, they don't have enough workers. People moved on. That's why keeping employees is so important, because once you shut down an industry, such as the cruise line industry, people move on to different industries, and, it's not easy to change. So anyways, that's one of the first things I wanted to touch on is the H-2B. If you guys have questions about the H-2B process, let's see, I think I had a couple other. Oh, that's the one for the H-2B. We're going to move on to our next topic. What I wanted to talk about today is infamous premium processing. Everyone loves premium processing because your case gets done quicker. The problem and the thing we don't like is there's a price tag that comes with it. So let's take a look first at, let's see if we can pull this up, get rid of that. Right here, I'm going to try to see if I can make this a little bit bigger for the audience, for all of you guys to see. Can you guys see that? Let me know. If you can see it, put it up in the chat. I can see it. I can read it. Presently, the premium processing is available for all of these categories right now. Let me see. Let me double check. Yep. So if you're in the United States and you're filing with the USCIS and you want to get your application done very quickly in 15 calendar days, you can give the government $2,500. If you're filing for Form I-140, you can give the government an additional $2,500 if you're doing a non-immigrant visa on Form I-129, such as H-1Bs, Es, Ls, Os, Ps, all of those wonderful categories. And then finally, for those who are religious workers or what we just talked about, H-2Bs, those you get a reduced. You still got to pay a lot of money, but it's reduced to $1,500. So as you can imagine, this is not cheap whatsoever. Thank you out there for saying you guys can read it. Thank you, MVGDL. But remember, this is a lot of money on top of everything. And if you got an attorney that you got to pay for, it just builds up. So often employers, if the employer's paying for all this, can spend thousands and thousands of dollars beyond this, the premium processing, just to bring a foreign national here. So remember, everyone out there, it's not easy bringing foreign nationals here. It costs money. So, those are the fees. Now, we have additional information. This is coming up. Now, some of these were supposed to be introduced this month from June 1st. I haven't seen everything come through. Let me see if I can switch this. We are having some technical difficulties, but we'll get it working for you guys this evening. I wanted to show the proposals. Yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at this. Make this a little bit larger for our audience. Now, this is what they're proposing. Now, not all of these are supposed to be effective from June 1st, which is today here in the US. And for example, not all of these, they're going to phase them in, all right? Not all of them at once, otherwise it'd be crazy. Now, also what they're doing, and when you read into the details, they're supposed to create an electronic form of the I-907, which means you can go online, create an account, and submit this so that it's really quick, same day. You submit the form, pay your fee, and everything works out really quickly. But look at these time frames over here, guys. You're still paying $2,500, but you're not getting that 15 calendar day benefit from it. You're actually waiting 45 days. Now, the good thing is if they don't process your case within the 45 days, or previously in the 15 days for those other categories, they're going to return your funds. But obviously, if you're paying that kind of money, you really need them, or you really want the government to go ahead and process your case. So the awesome thing is, you kind of wish the government would just go ahead and process these cases as like they normally are used to, maybe 10 years ago. But here, I mean, if you're an F1 student, they're asking you to dish out additional $17.50 so they can process it within 30 days. Right now, for F1s for change of status here in the US, we're looking at like 12 months or more. I mean, that's a year. And it's just a pain for people who want to move on with their lives and their education and start their careers. If you got to wait a year just for the government to process an application so that you can study at the next institution, that's awful. Also, for work permit requests, for those people who really need to get their work permits, you can do that. It's going to cost you $1,500 though. It's a lot of money. So even though there's inflation, you hear in the news the negative side of inflation, everyone complaining about prices going up. Well, here's one additional thing that you're going to be piled on top of everything. So start baking premium processing into your budget, folks, because it's coming. We should see some of that real soon. Part of the process of getting all this implemented in is going to be based on them getting in an electronic form of the I-907, which is the request for premium processing. We use it here at the office every week because our businesses, they're in the business of making money, not sitting around waiting for the government to pull the file off the shelf, review it, and get it approved. Premium processing is a vital tool and necessary tool in the immigration process. They are expanding it. They don't have everything out yet, but we'll keep you updated as they come out. So June 1st, this is when we should start seeing some movement on the premium processing, and we'll keep you informed. If anyone has utilized any of the new premium processing categories, let me put that back up on the screen here. If anyone has already submitted or sent this in, let us know how it goes in the chat. None of our clients yet have tried it for the multinational executives or managers right now. That's taking, a long time to process, over a year in some cases. So if you're in the EB1C and you want to upgrade, you can upgrade. Let us check. We'll keep checking and make sure it's all available, and the USCIS gives us the go-ahead. But, get that $2,500 ready. Also, for those for advanced degrees, national interest waivers. How many of you guys really want to file for the NIW out there? This is your ticket to get a quick response within 45 days. We're not talking months or years. We're talking 45 days. Wouldn't that be awesome? Yes, it's a lot of money, but to get some closure on this whole immigration process, it's priceless in some sense. All right, guys. Any questions out there? How's everyone doing? Now, the last one that I wanted to touch on today is something that's sort of dear to my heart. We put out a video. Check our YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. We didn't do it last month, guys. So June is the month to get that in. Spread the word. We're looking to hit 5,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. Please go there, check it out. We've got a lot of content. So the video that was uploaded today was right after a family-based green card interview. And it worked like clockwork, just as I envisioned it. We always prepare our staff and our clients to make sure that our clients are ready for these interviews. Organization. Check out that video. It's really short. It's only like 40 seconds, but it's the point. The most important thing is organization. If you're organized and you have your stuff together so that you're able to give it to the officer, it just goes so smoothly. And I didn't really spend too much time going into details, but when we prepare, we spend about an hour with our clients before they go to their interviews. It's sort of what we do. We make sure they have all their documents. We answer all their questions. We talk about the do's, the don'ts of the interview. And In this client today, we had an engineer and a photographer, and stressed. I say organization at least 30 times through our preparation interview and meeting. And so our clients know that. They understand. And at the end, the officer said, well, thank you for being organized. And you know what? It's just when you hear those words, and I didn't have to prompt the officer to say it. It helped also that the officer was, reviewed the case ahead of time, was on top of everything. He knew pretty much 70%, 80% about our clients before they even walked in the door. The officer was spectacular. If every USCIS immigration officer was like the officer today, I can't use their name, probably doesn't want it out there on the net, but it was just clockwork, organized. And each officer has a different way of doing it. Some officers, they want, hey, give me all your relationship documents, you just give it to them. Today, the officer said, hey, give us anything and everything that you're going to give it to me now. And of course, our client had everything organized as um, they needed to have organized. They gave the whole thing to them. Everything was there. There was nothing missing. Translations were there, birth certificates, marriage certificates, everything was there, employment documents. So our clients were totally ready, organized, and that made the officer's job so much easier. As you can imagine, with people coming from all around the globe, not having the words of wisdom, the instruction and the guidance, and sometimes I pressure my clients to conform to this really narrow interview style so that they have a great experience. My clients walked out there with a smile. Even before we finished, the officer said, you guys were approved. And, what a feeling. Can you imagine how many of you guys out there got your green card? And in that interview, the officer said, yep, your case is approved. You guys are great. Anybody out there? Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear your story and your experience. Now, all too often we hear about the negative stuff on the internet, but this is a positive one. And a lot of it, how you get that positivity in your immigration process or how you get through it, it's not wishing the government would move your case quicker or wishing they'll do what you want. It's preparation, organization, and anticipating what the USCIS is going to want from you. So I was so happy for my clients. They were very, very happy. Everything went very smoothly. And the officer again said at the end, I am so happy. Thank you for being organized. If you hear that at the end of your immigration interview, you have done your job. Okay. If you, on the other hand, have an officer who is frustrated and barking at you or not being nice, or you feel like you're being attacked, well, part of that is your attorney getting you prepared to deal with whatever type officer you get. But when you are organized, answer the questions, know what to anticipate, and have talked and worked together as a couple, in this case, or it may not always be a marriage type situation. It can be, a parent-child situation. So you always want to prepare, and that's what we do very well here at Ray Law International. So how's everyone doing out there? Those are the major things that I wanted to talk about. Check out that video we threw up on YouTube. It's on Instagram, LinkedIn, also Facebook. If you're on any of those platforms, check the video out. It's really good. But it kind of drives home that organization is key. You must be organized. If you're not organized, talk to us to help you get organized. Now, this week we are busy. I know you guys are busy as well. That's why we want to keep these to about 30 minutes. We do have one more scheduled for tomorrow. We have a totally different topic, things I want to touch on, and also make sure that you guys are aware of. And you remember, guys, this is your time. I want to hear questions from you guys. I want to hear, your successes. Tell me some of that good stuff out there. People are getting naturalized. Companies are encouraging. Is your company helping you get naturalized? Is your company helping with your green card? We have clients that are helping their employees with their green card process. That's how important these employees are. Employers are, really understanding the value of immigration. It's not just negative. It's not just, the bad news, the articles that the newspapers, seek out to make you feel a certain way or get you to read. But it's in everything, even with the Texas incident where, they're going through the funerals and everything. Immigration is involved in that too. So everyone, I just want to thank you guys. Oh, hey, Cinnamon Rolls every day. How you doing? Glad you could join us today. Thank you guys for joining us. We will be on to tomorrow, and we'll be on talking about some other things. If you have questions or you know of people who have questions or are looking for really good guidance, this is a place to be. Thank you guys for joining us. If there's no other questions, you guys, we are going to see you tomorrow or the next time, okay? Hopefully we're not too overly busy and I'll have time to get everything in order. But we do have a new video, a more longer educational type video coming out tomorrow as well. Check that out on our YouTube channel and other platforms that we're out there on. I think we're on Twitch for our live stream. Our monthly live stream also is coming up, I think, next week. So we got to get that together as well. Looking forward to that. We have some good topics regarding that. So everyone, thank you. You guys have a wonderful evening here in the States, a wonderful day to everyone out there. And feel free to rewatch it. Absolutely. You guys, thank you so much. Take care and always stay on the right immigration path. See you guys.